are not honored. Do not honor them. When I go back always to my scriptures, and I quote in the 2 Samuel chapter 5 verse 12, says, and David knew that the Lord had established him as a king over Israel and exalted his kingdom for the sake of his people Israel. Leadership is about others. It is not about you, it is about others. In physically, the word leadership is about others. Can you read yourself? So leadership means it's about others. So you must focus on others. Therefore, a leader is expected to serve people, not to boast over them. Not to boast over them. Even Jesus said, if you want to be the greatest among others, you must be willing to serve them rather than being served. Being served. No ego, self-interest, no air of self-importance, but extreme commitment to the goal of serving others. So, ladies and gentlemen, ladies of NUP, let me tell you, if you want to be women of difference, if you really want to be women of difference in your constituency, in your communities, in your nations, look at service. Don't look at what you get out of leadership. Look at what you give in leadership. For me, Karole says I should share my experience. Jory is here, I'm telling you, if you were to be honest without getting angry because I was praising where she should not praise, she will tell you what was driving Honorable Matembe. Because there is nowhere we haven't been with Jory. What we suffered, and in the end, what did we get? What did we get? Let me tell you, 16 years ago, I was thrown out of the leadership of this country and thrown out as a reject and useless. But I can assure you, I still stand tall as a leader of influence in this country. Why? Because I was driven by service to the people. The only asset I have in my life is when I'm going down Market Street, whether like I say, Mama, and I feel good. Ask Joy, what call came from Nigeria today? We didn't expect the call from Nigeria, but a woman from Nigeria called and said, Mama, how is East Africa? I said, yeah, they are struggling. He said, we here in West Africa, we honor you, Matembe. You told me things I didn't know. In the morning, I told Joy, listen, what a great day. From that, all your videos, they are working, you are the advert in education, in health. I said, wow. I said, come to my home, you laugh, you say, this is where the former minister is. I have no problem. I still stand tall because I serve. God gives us positions of service as stewards. The positions and possessions which are given to us are given to us by God to use in service of his people. And he's the one who will reward us. So my dear sister who is here, what drives you into leadership? What drove you to become a member of parliament, to become a councillor, to become a speaker? What was it that was driving you? What was it? You need to answer this question if you have succeeded, because that's what determines what will be. I want to ask, is it what you get, what you wanted to get? Is it the position? Is it the allowance? Is it what? What was driving you? Day and night they are putting you and beating you to become a member of parliament, of a speaker. What was driving you? Is it indeed service to the people or domination? You also want to dominate. Yeah, don't you know me? I'm William Matembe. What are you talking about? What were you about? What was driving you? Is it service? Is it domination? Is it what you give or what you get? The answer to this question determines whether you are a leadership of integrity, committed to serve your people, and it will determine your success or not. And by the way, I want to tell you that I stand here and consider myself as a very successful woman of destiny in my leadership. It does not matter whether people think I'm reject or what, but I know And I know, and by the way, if you want to know, the awards I have got in this world, at least one of them in 1989, I was awarded as one of 100 women world over who had made an impact in the women of the world, who had acted as a role model. And I was called in New York, I held the flag, and there I was. But in Uganda here, those owners receive money in Korongo. What do they call them? In Korongo, those which they give on Women on National Day. I've never received any. But imagine the world one. What more do I need? So what drives you? What drives you? That is leadership. That, in summary, that is leadership. But you read more in this paper about leadership. And in that paper, I put leadership, women, leadership, or whatever, because I had you trying to distinguish between the woman direct and the woman. That's nonsense. I don't have time to take you through why we put that seat. There is a reason. You are all women members of parliament. One time a woman told me, you know, for me, I'm not a woman. I said, tell me, when did you become a man? He said, no, I came on the other men's seat. I said, rubbish, you are not even fit to be here. And you know, when I'm rough. Because for me, what drives me is what men get through whichever channel. I told her, she got angry with me, but afterwards she stopped. Because when he started saying, me, I'm a man, I came through a man, see, who gave these men seats men to men? Those seats belong to everybody of us. But because of the barriers that we are preventing us from getting there, and because there was a need, an open door had been opened for women, we had to say there must be special positions. But you stand on the others. Now when you distinguish them, I remember this Bakoko, one time I was in the canteen, I think, drinking some tea, and say she was on platform and talking. And she said, you know, for me, I'm not a woman, I'm speaking, and the people were in parliament looked for Matembe to say something. And I ran down the steps, there was no lift from the canteen. I entered parliament and I was standing and she had already sat. I wanted to rubbish her completely because I wanted to show her, do you think we are better? You have better capacity, whatever it is, more than me. You see, when they create such kind of things, they are creating divisions for nothing. We were all supposed to contest for all those positions, but because of the barriers which you know, we didn't. So when you are a woman, member of parliament representing district, you are the same like the other one. So when you call them, you should all meet and strategize on how to move forward. So you will get that paper, it will tell you all about leadership, why the woman seats were there, why women should be in leadership, and then you should be able to really follow those principles that answer why we should be there and focus. And even this woman district seat, next time I get time, I'll share with you, because you are busy doing all those things which, by the way, you are not even meant to do. You are supposed to supplement the work of these other members of parliament. Children there is a witness. You listen to her. She was like after a member of parliament, because everything I did, she was with me. And when she got this position of vice president, although she hid everything from me, when I saw her on TV, swearing as a vice president, I think she had thought maybe I would stop her. But she was ashamed because I said, good for you. Choose where you want to go. But she knows what we used to do, identify specifically issues concerning women themselves. Because these men in the constituency, whether woman or man, they are telling all those things. But you focus deliberately on those concerns of women. That's why I succeeded. Focus, and by the way, I was running in 49 sub-counties. The whole of Mbarara district is now 7 members of parliament. I was doing the work of all those people. Time. No, wind up what? See, that's why we come in. Wind up, okay. Wind up on leadership. But I must go on influence. Give me 2 parts. Now, leadership is about influence. Okay? Leadership is about influence, and you cannot lead without influence. If you are not influencing the people you are leading, then you are not a leader. And on the issue of influence, I want to take you to John, the book of John in the Bible, chapter 15, verse 16. Yes, verse 16. I think there is there it says, John chapter 15, verse 16. It says, "You did not choose me, but I chose you to go and bear fruits, fruits that would last." In this verse, Jesus was very clear about us being positioned for influence, that he chose. Were you chosen? So, God chose you and appointed you a leader that you may bear fruits. And he didn't stop on bearing fruits. He said, fruits that may last. So each of us, we are here. If it was about self, we would just bear fruits. And by the way, you need to know, this is a great person. But bear fruits, fruits that may last. I want to ask you, trees bear fruits. Do they eat those fruits?
No.
No. So that means leadership on its own is just about others. You bear fruits, fruits that may last. Yes, you become effective. You work, but your work must have an influence on others so that your work may be seen from the way you have influenced others. Of course, influence, I have defined influence in the paper which I have given you. You will read all what influence means. But you were appointed, you are chosen and appointed to bear fruits, fruits that would last. If Karule stands and says, "For me, Matembe mentored me." If Lina says, "Oh, I follow Matembe." If Jode says, "Oh, Matembe," Jode has a story. She was looking at me at the beginning and saying, "These are visitors." She was in her comfort in her marriage and I stormed in Barara. And I, wow, she looked at me. Some women are mad. But down the road, oh, she became my whatever, right hand. And Tesla is there. So what more do I want you people? Those are the fruits we are talking about. Don't leaders go and hang in there and stay. But when you go, I tell you, the fruits which you leave is your legacy, and that's what you go with by the way. The other day was when people die, they stand up and say, "Oh, Matembe, she served this nation and she has left 5 children and 4 grandchildren." Have you ever heard people saying mansions and whatever and the pictures of land that have left? No. Have you? No. Because the only legacy God gave you an inheritance and your what? Your children. Read the word of God is so great. Your inheritance are your children. So this land, this property, all these things you are dying for, and for if they stand to say, "Matembe left children." I have girls from Arua. I have daughters from Ira. I have my princess Zawango from Kampala here. I have all those. I don't know what more do I want. Only joy, only joy. So read about influence. You understand what it means, but I want to end up by telling you how you can be a person of influence. And influence may be negative, influence may be positive. But how can you as a leader be a positive influence? Number one, vision. You girls, you women, you must have a vision. You must know where you are seeing. You must stand here and see and see where you are going, where you want to take people, and have it clear in your mind. And then your vision is your calling. Please get to know your calling. Each of us has a calling from our God. You are called for something. Get to know your calling. Because after all, fruits, trees, are they the same? No. Mango, avocado, apple, what? All those are what? Are trees and shrubs which bear fruits. But if a mango is there crying that it has not produced apple, What do you think it would be? So you must know what type of a tree, what fruit you want to bear. And you must know them very clearly and make sure that you are going to bear those fruits. Now, a vision, God-given calling, it must be distinguished from an ambition. The problem that has come to Uganda, people look at their ambitions and they turn them into visions. A vision is that thing which you see for the good of others. And therefore you mobilize them to make sure that they achieve that good. That is a vision. Now an ambition is you want to do better than others. An ambition is driven by personal desire to do better and excel over others. You get it? Get that two distinctions, because they will help you to determine what is driving you. If what is driving you is a personal ambition is good, but a personal ambition should never drive you into leadership. Because when a personal ambition drives you in leadership, because all you are concerned about is to excel or do better than others, compete with them, you may end up killing, you may end up destroying, you may end up doing, because you want to go through others and excel. Never be driven in leadership by personal ambition. It's no good. Now, your vision. You must have belief in your vision, and you must have passion for it. Belief in your vision and passion for it causes a lot of influence on others. Like for instance, when you see me, the way I talk, my passion and all that kind of thing, you see, I think I would like to be like that one. No? So when you have that passion for your vision and strong commitment for your vision, and you talk for it as if all you need in life is that you are capable of influencing the others to follow you. The passion with which you express and pursue your vision becomes so impactful on others and causes them also to identify their own personal visions and believe in them. And when you do that, you will have effective influence. In fact, John Maxwell says that the courage to fulfill one's vision comes from the passion, not position. Passion, not position. And my personal experience has proved that Maxwell right. Because for 16 years now, I have no position I hold, but I can assure you, I have continued to influence people. Day and night I'm talking. Yesterday I woke up, it was 5 o'clock, I'm dressing Rotarians. They were like 200 or 215 virtual and 60 in the room. Imagine waking up 6 o'clock in the morning, no pay, no nothing. You put in fuel, you drive to town, and I went. But when I finished, I felt so good because I told them what I wanted to say. And I'm telling you, that's what you need, you people. Positions and possessions are given to us to serve people, but not to use them. You may have no influence at all. You may have no position. When we are looking for votes in the villages, and I'm sure even with you it is like that, they would say, have you gone to Mrs. Kyagulanyi? Let me give an example. Have you gone to Kyagulanyi, Mrs.? You say no. And Kyagulanyi, Mrs. Kyagulanyi would be an elderly woman or somebody there in the village, or young girl. You better go there. Then you would go and visit them and discuss and tell them, I want to contest, and they say, hey, where do you come from? But by being seeing that person, you finished, you got the votes in the village or in the sub-county. And yet they would have no position, but they would be people of influence. They would, I think you also met them. So influence does not depend on position, it depends on passion and the great love you have for what you have. So, so my question is, do you know your purpose and your calling? Are you determined to follow your vision committedly? Point number 2, you forgive me, I will go quickly, the rest you read for yourselves here. Tools and skills. You have the passion, you know the goal. Yes, You have tools and skills. In order for one to have influence, one must have tools and personal skills to execute her vision. You must have tools and personal skills to execute that vision. I'll tell you my tools. You may say, where do we buy tools from? For me, my tools are simple. My tools are my courage, my big mouth, my confidence, and my character. Those are my tools. My mouth being the major one based on Isaiah 49, 1 to 3. When you read Isaiah chapter 49, verse 1 to 3, you will say where I get what? My mandate. And my courage, confidence, and influence comes from a strong sense of identity. Courage, power, and influence comes from a strong sense of identity, where you stand confidently with all the security and so on. So for me, knowing who I am in God gives me all I need to be influential. And I'm grateful to God for His favor in making me a role model to many. Confidence. Where do you draw your confidence and power? From your beauty, from your smartness, from all these things which shake and get off? Me, I stand in my God, and when I do, in Joshua chapter 1, verse up to 9 says, don't fear, Matembe, you are my child. The other day I was getting so disturbed and soul, and he talked to me, don't fear, I am with you, warm. You know warm, you know a warm. Even says warm, Matembe, I will help you personally. And when he says that, you go, you get strength. So my friend, you know your tools. You must have knowledge. You must be confident of your knowledge, and God gives you knowledge. You must have wisdom, and God gives you wisdom. When you stand up in parliament, you talk with all the confidence. Let me tell you, when I used to be in school, when they ask for a question, I would stand up and answer as if I know everything when I don't know. And the teacher herself would look at my confidence and say, she would even doubt her own answer. And you know, by tomorrow, by the time he takes the answer tomorrow, that will have passed. You see? So, and for me, as I live, I used to, when I was young, I said, don't worry, don't panic, you are the best of the world. When I walk in this room, I'm the best of everybody. That's me, that's what I'm feeling. If you see, I finished the work. Okay, being intentional to influence others or circumstances which you want to influence. Don't just come here. Even if I came here to just talk and go, I come here to talk so that I influence you to the direction of real what a leader is, and you go and find your vision, and that's why you run with it to the passion and that kind of thing. I don't just come. So intentional. So another one. Others are like godliness, then integrity, then excellency. When you do all those things, you will be a leader of influence. And so, I'm leaving you this no, I will not leave it, I'll send it to her on her chart, so that you go and read it clearly and know what it means to be a leader of influence. So in short, in summary, hey, Madam former Speaker, leader of opposition, you are most welcome. She will also tell you that she's my mentee. Yes. That's why I'm so proud. Yes. So, you must have a clear vision, that is your calling. Insight. People respect the leader with insight. Insight to see the issue, and vision to see what lies ahead. Then charisma. People flock to leaders who make them feel good about themselves, making people see the significance of their roles. Talent. One must have specific talent. People see in you. You people don't just be with talent, and everybody was talented. God says one go to one, another two, another five. I don't know how many I have, but I can assure you my biggest talent is my big mouth. Yeah. And it's enough. and God anointed it. So what is your biggest talent? Rise up and use it. Some of you have big feet, you are quarreling, they can't fit into the food. Maybe God wants you to run all over the place and help people. Then of course there is ability. People feel a natural attraction to someone who can get things done. Talk, get up and do things. Then they follow you. Then of course communication skills. I don't feel like, when I started being a politician talking, I go and talk. And for me, I captivate everybody. They listen to me. Then when they will go, they say, hey, that woman can talk. Then they will ask me, hey, you are there. Yeah, you were there. What did she say? You were there. And then I reach the stage, say, but do they really hear what I'm They will say, you go there. But by going there, so the next day, many will come. Because they say, you go there. They will listen. I think you could ask them, what did you get? They say, but she can't talk. So you talk, but you will be listening. They will call other people to listen to you, and that is influence. Of course, character. It takes character to win and maintain trust. In fact, Maxwell says, integrity and character are the foundations of good leadership. And so, you have listened to me, leadership of influence, go and make your influence. I want to end by telling you that I'm also an author. Yes. You should, by the way, you go and Google Matembe. Because you are young people, go and Google and know what is this woman, what has she done. I'm an author. This is my latest book. The struggle for freedom and democracy betrayed. And I recommend, you people members of parliament, you have money. Stop being mean. If Matembe 16 years ago is still alive here with no money. By the way, I was chased away. I was chased away with nothing. 30 years of work for this nation. When I said no to removal of term limits, they said you are garbage, rubbish, get out of here. I don't have any pension, I don't have anything. It is God who sustains me. And I'm still here, looking good. Don't I look great? And so for you who are earning money, in fact you should buy this book at 100,000, although it is 50. But I want to recommend you to read this book. You need to know the history. You need to know these things. Please don't read this book 50,000. Knowledge is power, information is power. And this one, it is even in Aristotle. You can get it at 60 there. Now this one, I commend you to read. All of you read this book because I read it. I wrote it as an answer from God when I was questioning her why she created women to suffer. He answered me, and the answer is here. This is mere 20,000. When I get money, I print more. I don't get it for my own eating. What matters to me, let information reach there. Thank you so much. Very sorry for telling you. It's because you came late and started late. It's your own fault, but I forgive you. Thank you so much for your kind.
Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Mary. Can you please give her a louder hand of applause? Doctor, you can take a seat. Thank you very much. So she has spoken so many things, words of wisdom. Doctor, you can have a seat here, please. Yes, for questions. Time has gone, but we shall at least take 3 questions. So without any delay, anyone has any comment, question from what the doctor has told us? Confidence, courage, character, passion, influence, vision, anything, comment, okay?
Thank you so much. You have really given us the accessories.
I request you to introduce yourself while you ask your question for Papa to know.
Kaya Christine Nashimwero, Chiboga District Parliament. You have enlightened us so well. I was requesting for proposals of affirmative actions of our days that we should push. Yes, we are always with the women, but we also need some insights from you on the affirmative action that can really help our women over these days. not of Obote, not of Amin, not of RM7, but of these days. We shall be happy to hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Christine. Honorable Betty.
Thank you so much, our leader, and we are so grateful for the grace you gave us. To the question, Honorable Matembe, how can you advise us? What best can we do in order to ensure that those other women now still living probably in the executive are probably somewhere in more places of influence than where we are as MPs, can really understand the need for us women to be together, talk the same language upon the way things are going today, the atrocities, so that they can also have the guts to talk about what's happening in the country. Because fine, the way you say it earlier on, it would have been okay, but it's getting from worse to worst. But how best can we ensure, much as we have those positions, today we have that of the vice president, we have the deputy speaker, but are we really influencing others at the country in general so that it can return back to its earlier levels in 86?
Thank you, Honorable Betty, and finally, Honorable Aisha.
Thank you, Chair, and Honorable Dr. Winie Matembe. Talking about the struggle, how can we liberate the West so that we can deliver this country together? How can we liberate the western region of Uganda so that we can deliver this country to the promised land together?
Thank you very much, Doctor. I'm going to request you to respond to those. But this is a logistical issue. We already have our team, which is already ready outside. And given that we started late, we are not going to break off for tea. So anyone who feels like the levels of the sugar levels have gone down, I'm going to request you to kindly step outside and pick your tea and come back and sit one by one. So we shall have the working tea and then we can be able to proceed and catch up with the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think the first question was on affirmative action. That's the reason why we should buy this book. There is a whole chapter of my analysis on the affirmative action. Affirmative action is a double-edged sword. It can be used to please those men and those people who bring women on board, and abused so that they can say, yes, our women are there, and yet, because they control them, they bring those women who can always bow to them and do nothing to achieve for the women. So I want to say it clearly here, that the affirmative action of Uganda, the current one, has been abused. It has been abused. Moreover, it did not spread everywhere, because affirmative action is limited in two places, at the national level, in politics, and at the council. That's all. When we come to the executive, the government, there is no clear principle of affirmative action. For instance, in cabinet, they can do anything. I didn't want to come here in politics, but now you are drawing me, and this place is waiting for that. They will misuse this opportunity and they take me into that which I didn't want to go in, because I was here to train you people. But the affirmative action in the executive, remember, I've been quarreling and saying, how can you bring the whole of cabinet? They are all men, from number one to number one. I've been shouting, and then this time around, when they came to appoint position, what did they say? Let us silence Matembe. Because now we have the vice president, we have the prime minister, we have the first deputy prime minister, we have the second deputy prime minister. Now let Matembe talk. Have you heard me talk about him? Only two men like this, President Museveni and who? and Moses, the rest are the women. So what do I say now? The only thing I want to say that women are in positions of power, but serving power without power. They are in positions of power without power, serving power, full stop. That is your affirmative action. Gone and finished. And so, when you look at this book, it is talking about reviewing it and revising it. That is for you, for your affirmative action. Then the next question was actually, how can we make people influence? Let me tell you the truth. What I have realized is this. That's why I told you the NRM government which I served. And I always distinguish it clearly to the people who don't know. And they say, hey, you have really told us. The National Resistance Movement government, which I know, ended in 2006. The National Resistance Movement, which went up to 2006. The movement that was saying, women, where are you? And women went there. And we did all that we did. And they even used to ask us. And we used to do whatever. For me, when I was in Oxford, when they go Urukunda would call me, Matembe, there are these women, I think they would send me women as if I'm the government. We were working hand in hand together before things went wrong. When things went wrong, women are now used. The affirmative action, which was meant to attract women of passion to liberate fellow women and make policies and decisions that would be good for women, it ended there. Because the participation of women in politics was supposed to be effective enough to influence the governance agenda and make it responsive for women's interests, needs, and concerns. But now, because the type of women we have, the type of women who are going through affirmative action, it is about getting a job also. It is about me also having a position. It is about the NRM government patronized this NRM party, the NRM party government. The two are separate. People tell me Matembe served in NRM government. Yes, the original, the real one, not the fake. Not the fake one. I served in the other one. Because there we were influencing the governance agenda. You may say numbers. On Constitutional Commission, Mayor Maituma and I, 2 people out of 21 members. But you see the constitution we made? Women. By the time we left we made the constitution, all these 19 men were all bound to us, put women and things into the assembly. Because we went there with passion. But if you go there to earn money, if you go there to have a position, if they patronize you, women keep saying that this Matembe is really a betrayer. He doesn't know where Museveni picked him from. Me, I tell them, you don't know where I picked him from. Because I'm telling you, if he came here and said, women, where are you, and Matembe did not come out, Matembe and her colleagues, if we didn't come out and shout, in fact, one time the women overture told me, but madam, you are the one who took us to the movement. Where do we go now? I told them I also don't know. Because by then I didn't know even where to go. So my dear, patronage, the system, the political system has patronized and captured the affirmative action, and it is using it for its own good. And I can assure you that affirmative action will not produce anything sensible for us now. It needs to be reviewed, and it depends on the political environment right now. Because we had even said that since the districts are many, let us get one man, one woman per district. We proposed it long ago, but they are using it to capture you, and they want to bring those with the other guys. When minister saying, for me, I'm a dog. Hey. Then you listen on TV, I see them there. Come on, they dog back. I say, come on. How can me, Matembe? Eh? Me, you know, when this man used to patronize me and say, my daughter, I say, excuse me. I'm Honorable Matembe, I'm a minister, and I'm a mother and the wife of such a man. Therefore, this is what I do. When you hear he calls me now, my sister, Muwonge is better than you know. And when he says, my daughter can do it, then she smiles and my daughter says, how patronizing you are, reducing you to dogs and that kind of thing. When we dog here to back. How can I be a full cabinet minister for myself a dog? Dog for what? So you are swallowed, you are finished, you are. That's what you do. Now I have answered you. Influence, I cannot help you to influence. But it is the situation. I have realized that the effectiveness of women in the political public arena depends on the political environment at a particular time, coupled with the political will of the government to support. Now, in the absence of a political will and in the absence of a bad, violent environment, women cannot excel. You will know that. They will be used, they will go there, be used and thrown out. Me, I was never used. I was thrown out of the job of minister because it was difficult to me, but I did what I wanted. Now, my dear, you are telling me, how do you deliver the West? Are you focusing on delivering the West or delivering this nation?
We need to work, move together.
The West is lagging behind.
I just want, the West is lagging behind in terms of what? Focusing on what?
Liberation struggle.
But if the West is having their money, their brother, what do you want them to do with you? When the North was having theirs, when the West was having theirs, you need to read this book. Because the whole principle of divide and rule, stupid principle of divide and rule, I did not expect it to come back after 42. But unfortunately, you people, you even think, many times when I'm sleeping, I say now, if anybody comes up and takes over this government, and is not from the West, they come and kill me for what? For what? What have I gained out of here? And some of you think that the West has it all. Forget it. I wish you said, how do we deliver this nation from the family?
Yeah.
I would have liked the question more. Yeah. How do we deliver this nation from a single family and the group of the people whom you read in this book? How do we deliver the nation from those wicked family people? Not to deliver. Have you been to Bushenya and everywhere and see how the people are suffering?
My question is, how do we liberate, not deliver the West? How do we liberate the West so that we
You liberate that family. Liberate that family. You are not getting it. You liberate the small clique of the thing. For instance, now, what if Rwanda is a problem? I mean, if we had challenges with Rwanda, has it got to be a family matter to go and sort it out? Eh? Do the Western people, I come from the West, Johnny come from the West, do you know why there is a war in Congo and whatever they are fighting and the roads they are making? Do you know? Do you members of parliament to know anything about it? You don't know. But there is a clique of people on top. You say, how do we deliver this nation from that clique of people who have captured our nation, have created divide and rule, and they are making us fail to deliver our nation? That is the question. And I want your mind now to be refocused. I'm glad you raised that question. Refocus your mind and find the problem. What is the problem? Who is behind the problem? And how do we galvanize ourselves? And how do we, by the way, as I conclude, the most important thing you can do to deliver Uganda is to abandon your greed for wealth. Greed for power, greed for wealth. They buy you, they do all sorts of things, and you just don't do what you want to do. You should stand like Daniel and say, I am not ready to defile myself. In that book, the book which I've been reading to you, the Bible, Esther stood up and said, if I perish, I perish, but I will not do what? I will go and see the king. Stand up. If each of you can stand up for what is right, each of you in your own right, and forget money, and forget wealth, and forget all this nonsense, God will remember us. Don't look at the west, don't look at the north, don't look at what. Look at what is our problem.
Thank you.
What is our problem?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Honorable Dr. Miriam. Can you please clap for Dr. Muwonge? I think the last conversation was very critical and we need to understand it, and I am glad that Honorable Aisha raised that question. I think the most important thing is about how to deliver this country from a clique, from a single family that is holding it ransom in all sectors, and that clique is the one that is commanding and destroying every sector. So we need to find solutions to that, but we shouldn't go by the flow of divide and rule. In fact, that is what is killing us, and I am glad that the Women's Day is in the corner, and it's about removing the biases that we have, including the political biases, the tribalistic biases, the religious divides and all that. We need to have a unity question in this country, and we need to eliminate the few people that are holding us ransom. Thank you very much, Dr. Miriam Matembe. Thank you for those very energizing words. We thank you for always being ready to deliver and to serve and to speak with women at all fronts. I am sure that from the time you started talking to now, we have learned a lot and we are not left at the same level at which you found us. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am aware that as Doctor was speaking, we have a number of people that have joined us, and I would want in a minute for those people to introduce themselves, and then I can invite the next person who is taking us through the next session, starting with Honorable Varga.
Good morning, ladies and the gentlemen in here. My name is Joyce Varga Ntwatwa. I am the Woman Member of Parliament for Mityana District. I'm the Shadow Minister of Reformation and Anti-Corruption. I am from the National Unity Platform. Good morning.
And you can please feel free to get your tea and come back. It's a working tea.
Good morning, honorable members. I'm Honorable Dr. Christine, MP Command Civil North County. I'm the Secretary External Relations, Uganda Caucus, and the Secretary Central Uganda of WOFA. Thank you.
Aisha, order. You sit down. Order. Aisha, please. Good morning, honorable members.
He's the person who is telling you. Not you. Please, can we have order back in our workshop? Thank you very much. The gentleman selling doctor's books is around. He's moving around quietly, so he will approach each table. And if you want to buy a book, you will definitely get a copy.
Good morning, honorable members. My apology for coming in late. We had an ICT engagement at Frontier, but good I'm here. My name is Goreti Namunga. I'm the Member of Parliament from Ogula County South. That is in Sembabule District. And
Yes, friends, abachaliko, thanks for joining, thanks for keeping around. It's just a network glitch. Nayenga the NUP Women Conference, ekyagenda maaso. Iranga nga bwe nakutaliddeko ku title abogezi, the main speakers, kuliko Honorable Winie Kiiza, First Lady Barbie Kyagulanyi, Dr. Matembe, oye mumulabye bulungi era nga session ye mugibadde kondoza bulungi. Then Perry Artua gundi eno egenda kubeera up to 1 p.m. so essaawa zino zira ziri 5 dakiika 18. That means tukyabuza essaawa endala 2. Yeah, yatandise essaawa 2 ez'okumakya era nga ekyagenda mu maaso. All you need to do is to continue pushing it further. Such workshops teziyamba abo bokka ba attendinze, because gone are the days whereby in order to get such information tekikwetagisa kubeera nti oli wali wenyini nyini munda naawe ali eyo wabweru. You can gain from this conference by paying a genuine listening ear to what these leaders are saying. So that's why I'm requesting you to keep pushing, keep sharing the information. Cape Town, Musadule, nkulengedde webali kubeerako, Janet Nsubuga, Sara, Uganda Empyadai Hard, Musao Heleni. Thank you. If the network fails to restore, then I'm going to be forced to go off, and then I'll come back when it has been restored. Nayenga conference nga nkugambye ekyagenda mu maaso. There is a lot that's going on that we needed to talk about. But to just give you a heads up, however much I've not yet communicated officially using a poster, but on Sunday we are having a show. Ne Deputy Speaker wa NUP, that is Honorable Waiswa Mufumbilo. Yeah, we shall be discussing different issues as I'm going to communicate later on our different platforms. Tugenda kubeera konga tubyogere bigambo ebyo. Yeah, basically that's the communication that I've not yet made officially. Through a poster nayenga very soon, as I wind up with the poster, the communication is going to be and what it is all about. All right guys, I believe I should go off for now, and then I'll be back shortly. Nenga gwe kyoyina okukola yongezayo message. Yeah, that's the most important of all. You can as well visit our website www.jbmuwonge.com. Website eyo wobeera ng'olina article gy'oyagala okuwandiika circulating we osobola ogenda no visiting www.jbmuwonge.com n'okebera ku contact us option oba article contribution. You go through all the functionalities of the website olabe w'osobola okubeera nga you contribute to this struggle. Maybe you can write articles, maybe you can anything, you can visit it. All right guys, for now, cancel Ken Vehicle, I'll get back.